Hi there! It's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have this project to share with you. It's a thank you card. I don't know if you can see the embossing there. It's a thank you card that I have made with items from the Tropical Oasis suite. So I'm using the Timeless Tropical stamp set and the matching dies, which are there. Let me see if I can remember what they're called. That would be useful, wouldn't it? They are, I want to say, oh yes, In the Tropics dies. I can't wait to use this pineapple. I think that might be coming very soon. The word is aloha. We've got dies to cut the two flowers, the leaf. We've got some embossed leaves. This could be a feather, but I don't know, maybe a palm frond. Some lovely flowers. Say another leaf. Yeah, more leaves and this lovely pineapple. We've also got dies to cut the palm trees and the small pineapple. The words are may your birthday be memorable, rest and relax, you deserve it, thank you, hello, and our friendship is timeless. Lovely font. Really nice sentiments, very useful, and I think it's going to be an absolute winner. The paper is to die for. On the subject of paper and ribbon, I'm using the burlap, what do we call it? We call it braided burlap trim. I'm doing paper and ribbon shares. You can find the information for that over on my website under current offers. And I'm also going to be running, I'm really excited about this because it's the first time I've done it, a Facebook party for people who buy the combined bundle, can pay a little bit extra, and I will also send them cardstock and die cuts and all sorts of exciting things so that we can have a virtual party on a Facebook group, and there'll be scavenger hunts and all sorts of things. Only for the UK, I'm afraid, because I only sell in the UK. But do go and have a look at that. I am taking orders for that as we speak. There is a limit because it's all around how much I can get cut up and sent out. So yeah. Anyhow, on with today's card. I have done a little prep in advance, but not much. So got a couple of scraps of Whisper White cardstock and some stamps. That's the word I was looking for. I need my gold embossing powder. Although actually I think I might try that in white. Bear with me, let me swap. White embossing powder. Okay, so I'm not using any stamp pads. I am just using Stampin' Right markers. They do cross over more than one, in fact more than two colour groups, but we've got Mango Melody, Daffodil Delight, and yes, Mango Melody and Daffodil Delight from the Bright collection. Then I've got Pear Pizzazz from the Subtles, Old Olive from the Regals, and Soft Suede from the Neutrals. So apologies for that. You can obviously get the whole set. Sorry, there's a bit of fluff on my stamp. You can obviously get the whole set in the big bundle, the Many Marvellous Markers, but equally you could use your ink pads instead. So don't stress too much. I just wanted to get some mottled images, and yes, dare I say, I've stamped on the inside. I'm beginning to do it. Right, I'm going to start with the palm trees, and I'm going to start with my palest colour first. This will be the theme throughout all of this. Stampin' Right markers, you probably know, have two ends. So we've got the brush tip at one end and the writing tip at the other. I'm going to use the brush tip, and I'm going to use the side of the brush tip. You don't want to use the point because you could break the point of your marker, and we don't want that. So just gently, it doesn't take much pressure, I'm just running this across. I mean, I'm hardly holding it at all. I can't really demonstrate how little pressure I'm putting on it, but Trust me when I say not a lot. And then just make sure you've got a good coverage with that. Then I'm coming in with my Old Olive, and I'm going to concentrate on the middle, but I'm going to also flick out. So I'm using the side of the tip, if you like, rather than the actual tip. But I'm just going to flick out so that there's a bit of shading. Because, yeah, I just think it's nice to have a little bit of shading. I did do the first one with just Old Olive, and I didn't really like the solid look. Soft suede, and that just runs down the trunk of our palm tree. And then breathe on your stamp and stamp it down. Now this is just happens to be a 3-inch scrap that I've got, but just a scrap. And there you are, you've got two-tone palm trees, which I think is just a better look than the totally flat one colour. Pop that to one side for the moment. I will need that again because I've got to... Actually, I might as well do that now. Let me just find a scrap of paper while I'm doing... Oops! Let me juggle. Just get rid of that because... Actually, I need that back. I used to have a brain. So I'm going to do basically the same thing. Brush tip would be useful for the inside of my card. Just thought while I have this stamp out, I might as well do the inside as well. So where are we? We are Monday, right, so it's Christmas Eve Eve. Oh, and I've done all of that in Old Olive. Never mind, I'm going to stamp it off anyway. So yes, Christmas Eve Eve. I hope everyone's got everything ready for everything they need to do. Stamp off, and then stamp in the bottom right hand corner, and there is our little liner ready to go. So pop that to one side. So yes, Christmas Eve Eve. Oh, scared. Right, Daffodil Delight over all of the pineapple. And again, Pear Pizzazz. And Old Olive. And again, I'm kind of flicking. Do a bit more there, but it's more of a flick than anything. Then Mango Melody on the pineapple bit, just to give some colour. And then Soft Suede, I'm coming round the outside of my pineapple, the whole way round the outside of the pineapple. It looked very unfinished without the edge. I did stamp it and it just looked weird. Can't think of any other word for it but weird. And then I'm also going to just come in and do a little bit on the pineapple because it's got those really dark bits. And again, huff. And there we are. So that's my pineapple. These will need to be die cut. So let me just grab my die cutter and cover up my pineapple. That was a clever idea. My very well loved cutting plate. I think it might be time for me to, I don't know, get another pair. What I tend to do is swap out the top one to become the bottom one, and then get a new one for the top. So let's pop that there. And then the palm trees. And there. Right, okay. There we go. So, pineapple and palm trees. Get rid of the cutting plates. And, okay, I have already prepared my, what else are we calling it? Coastal Weave embossing folder. So I ran this through the embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder. So you want the blue plate. If you've got... So you want this plate, which is available in my online store. It's also going to be listed in the mini catalogue. So you can get that, and it's just the embossing plate. I sprayed this before I started with a mixture of the frost. Is it frost? Does it call itself frost? Where are you? Frost white. So it was a mixture of frost white, shimmer paint and water, just in a little spritzer. So I sprayed that, then embossed it, and it's got, I don't know if you can see, but in real life, oh yes, I think you can. In real life, it's got a lovely pearlescent sheen. Now, I didn't do it on my original, and I think I do prefer the one with the sheen. It's just, oh, pretty, 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 pretty. Okay, I need one more scrap of paper, which I didn't get out. Always clever. Thought I had, but I haven't. So one more scrap of paper. Well, card, Whisper White card. And my scrap paper. Floral image, and again I'm going to start with Daffodil Delight, and this is the small flower. And add some Mango Melody, and again I like to kind of bring the colour out a bit, and Huff. Do 1, 2, and this is just to build a background. So Daffodil Delight doesn't need to be perfect. It is, a lot of it's going to be covered up, but it just, rather than a plain white piece of paper or a plain coloured cardstock, I thought it would be nicer to have a bit of a pattern. And you'll notice I'm doing the full ones straight onto the paper. If you go over the edge, you'll need to re-ink, because if you stamp on an edge and then use the second generation, you'll end up with a line where it didn't meet any paper. So I have already cut and buried, oh, here, in inverted commas, Polaroid frame. So we've got enough card for that, but I do need to heat emboss on this first. So let's get rid of those bits. Bring in my trusty cheese board. Now tomorrow, being Top Tip Tuesday, I will show you how I did this, but I used rectangle dies, the Stitch rectangle dies, 2 dies that are just, you know, next door to each other size-wise. So that's how I did that. Right, embossing buddy. My brain is somewhere else. I think it's because I haven't really got ready for Christmas yet. And I was hoping to be a lot further ahead with everything by now. But it wasn't to be. So I'm just going to stamp thank you in the bottom left corner. Oh, just got away with that. It's a little nearer the bottom than I would have liked, but it's fine. And then into my white embossing. And I'll do that twice. And a third time. That's better. One more. Ooh. Yep. I do find that going, particularly with the white, it's a thicker powder, so the granules are thicker. I do find that going in and out a couple of times helps. Heat up your heat gun before you get it anywhere near your embossing powder, and then Here we go. I love watching this. Perfect. And I do think that stands out better. And of course this is the time for thank you cards, because anyone who's been kind enough to give you a Christmas present, I think it's only kind to send them, or polite I think is a better word, to send them a thank you card. Now I just want to trim this down so that it's a better size. You could use your trimmer for this. Oh, actually I know what you can use. Woohoo! Bear with me one moment. You can use, if you've got it, your mini trimmer. I like my mini trimmer for things like this. So I just want to trim a little bit off the top. That's a better size. Yep, that's going to fit perfectly. This is available if you join my team. You get this and a sample pack of designer series paper. This is actually from the Tropical Oasis suite. So yeah, really pretty. I mean, these are not exactly the same as the papers in the catalogue. They're the same papers, they've got different A and B sides. But there's 4 of each pattern, which means that if you actually wanted to run classes, you can make a sample and then invite 3 of your friends to make up the samples. So you could just run a nice little class with some chums around your kitchen table, and it's a great way to introduce people to crafting. And as I say, you get the nice little trimmer, which is great if you've got stuff that's cut down to 6 inches. Now this I can't get my brain to work today. That's it, that side. So I'm going to stick my palm trees down before I stick my white backing piece. And in fact I want that to be further up because I want it to come slightly over the frame. Moral of the story is put the glue on for your frame after you've stuck your palm trees down. Learn from my mistakes, everyone. Right. Actually, I'm going to go the other way up. There we go. And so long as you've got the white encased in the soft suede, you are good to go. And there we've got our little palm trees. Now I am going to pop those up. I've got a few dimensionals left on this sheet. So 1 and... have I cut these yet? No. 1, 2. Just take the tops off. So those are just slightly raised up. And then grab my pineapple, which I have thrown carelessly somewhere. Where did I put my... can't see it for looking. This I'm just going to glue on with some multi-purpose liquid adhesive. Remember that this is now available. You can only buy in Europe, you can only buy 3 bottles in any one order, but do bear in mind that we've got 2 years supply coming across in the next 6 months. So there's going to be plenty to go around. So there's no need to panic buy. And I'm just going to snip some of these to, don't need that many, but just, and I'm going to stay slightly up at the bottom because I want the burlap trim to tuck under a little bit, and then one in the middle. Right, okay, burlap trim. Just need a bit that's a little bit longer than your frame, And so kind of that length. And I just frayed out the end with my take your pick tool. Just be careful that you don't stab yourself while you're doing this. But I just wanted that to be not braided. And yes, I am stabbing myself, and yes, it does hurt a bit. Do as I say, not as I do. Right. Okay, piece of tear and tape is the best idea for adhering this trim, because it's a heavyweight trim, so you need a kind of real tough adhesive. So the tear and tape is ideal, particularly if you get it so that it all sits within the burlap trim. And then just peel that off. I'm just going to position my piece. Right, so I want it kind of there, like that. And then take the backings off my dimensionals. Where are we? Good grief, 21 minutes. So as ever, there will be close-up photos on my website, which is linked below. Just click the link to the associated blog post. I've just got a piece of soft suede cardstock, half a sheet, cut long and thin, folded in the middle. So yes, there'll be close-up photos on my blog post. You can also order from either below or my blog post. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Tomorrow, as I say, I'll be showing you how to do the Polaroid frame on Top Tip Tuesday. I know it's Christmas Eve. No one's going to watch it because you're all going to be busy. But it's there for when you're back. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really makes a huge difference. And if you subscribe, that is even better. That makes even more of a difference. And then last thing to do is adhere your liner, and then we are good to go. So thank you very much indeed. As I say, if you've got nothing better to do tomorrow, I will be showing you how to make the stitched Polaroid frame. I'm not posting on Christmas Day, or certainly not a project. I'll probably put up information about my product shares, but nothing projecty. And then I'll be back again on the 26th, or as we know it in the UK, Boxing Day. So there we are. Those are my two cards, one with a bit more pearl and one flat, one with white and one with gold. Do let me know which you prefer. I know which one I prefer, but you know, it's always nice to know which ones everyone else prefers. Thank you very much indeed for watching today. I hope you have a lovely Christmas, and as I say, thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!